black tank additives. I'm somewhat surprised at all the money people throw in their black tank. If the toilet works as it should and it's blocking odors from coming up with the water in the bowl, why would anyone put stuff to have it smell like roses?
Mine doesn't smell. But no, okay. So I have thoughts on that. What to put down there. When I used to do PDIs, I started doing this business working at a dealership in Texas. And so you'd have the big Texas guy, 10 feet tall, and his little petite wife, And I would do the walkthrough with the new owners of the RV, and we would get her. Now I was a full-time RVer, okay? So I'm giving you, imagine, I didn't go home to a house. I went home to an RV, and I've been living in an RV for a number of years at this point. So I had things to offer to make the tank flushing process a little bit easier. So what I would do is I would look to the big guy, and he could crush me if he wanted to, and he'd be like, you ever have a big hard day and you just want to come home and grab your magazine and go float in the bathtub, and you got your candles around the side, and you got Yanni blasted, and you're just reading Guns and Ammo magazine, just soaking in that, and you got your Calgon Take Me Away stuff, milk bath. I like the honey vanilla one, and you're just soaking in that bath, letting all that heat absorb into those muscles and all that kind of stuff, and then you drain it, and then you get out, dry off, and walk through the house patting water behind you. And then I look at this little petite, gal, and I'm like, and then you go to take a shower, and you're slipping all over the bathtub. You're just slipping all over. Well, what? That was water softener that did that. And so the point I was trying to make, and the guy was like, "Whoa, what are you talking about?" It was a fun thing, but. So what we want in our tanks is water softener. That was my point in trying to take a bath, because Ann would do a Calgon milk bath, and then I'd go take a shower, and it's very slippery. We want our tanks slippery, so we want to put a water softener in our tanks, and that's going to make them super slippery where nothing's going to stick to them. So it doesn't have to be the Calgon. It could just be any water softener. It'd be a great thing that is a best practice for us that we've always put down our toilets, and I don't care what it smells like, but we just want the tanks to be slippery. The other thing we're going to put in our tanks, not all the time, but occasionally, would be like a detergent, like a laundry detergent. And what the laundry detergent's going to do is, if I spill spaghetti on my shirt, then we're going to soak that in cold water in the sink and let that detergent get the stain off. And so another best practice that we've done in our tanks is laundry detergent. And just cheap laundry detergent, throw it down there, and just let that Better Living Through Chemistry kind of keep your tanks, so you got the water softener in there, you got your detergent in there, and then there's these little packets of pillow things that make it smell good, but what I'm really interested in is the ones that have the enzymes in them, the digesters. They're going to take all the solids and eat them up and digest them and turn it into like a slurry. And so if you get the kinds that just smell good, then they don't have the digestive enzymes in them where they're going to make a colony of a slurriness, and they're just loving it in that tank. Our best practice now, there's that whole thing with ice. There's this funny video where a guy, this video has been out for a long time. Taking ice and putting it in your tank and driving around has been proven not to work. It does not work. And so there's a funny video, it's been out for, 10 years or so, maybe even longer than that, where he made a clear tank and he put it in the bed of his truck, and he made this fake stuff and stuck it in there, and he's driving all over, and here's this solid, and the ice just comes up and just does this. It doesn't work. And so go find that video. But anyway, so those are some things that we've done that are best practices. So I could care less about the smell more so than the water softener kept the sides of the tank nice and slippery. The detergent helped to kind of break down some of the stains and keep things clean. I have heard, even though I don't really use my sensors at all, and yes, I get called in to fix them all the time, but even in our RV, when you're in an RV, you just kind of know what a full tank sounds like. So I don't even pay attention to my sensors. I just know when it starts to gurgle and it doesn't have that same kind of sound when you flush, the tank's full, okay? But what I've heard is automatic dishwashing detergent will help clean the sensors. I don't know if we'll really buy that because the sensors are about the size of a pencil eraser. I mean, they're little teeny tiny little buds that stick out into the tank. Now they do have Horst Miracle Probes has the sensor that has the Teflon coating, and they do a little bit better job. I put those on my tank, and even that's not 100%. I did do a video on the tank sensors. Go look through, I don't know what playlist it's on, but I did do a video. It turned out that the problem wasn't the sensors, it was the actual monitor panel itself, which was faulted out. That's when I have all my meters out. So I don't care what they smell like, it's more about getting it to dump quickly and not have anything sticking in them. So the water softener has been a big hit for us. I think we get that from like the dollar store, water softener, and laundry detergent sometimes, especially if there's a smell that we can't get rid of. The laundry detergent seems to help. Not the kind that makes a lot of soapy bubbles. We don't want that in there. And then the little packets with the enzyme in it to help eat the solids. So that's been our best practice. Do you have any other thoughts, Ian?
Just so you know, I don't use the water softener.
Oh, you don't anymore?
I just use the enzyme.
Okay, the enzyme. Okay, so she stopped using the water softener one. Okay, I thought it was smelling different now. But yeah, so it's not so much about a smell as it about the mechanics of getting all the stuff out of it.
But you do have to use something. You can't not use something.
If you don't use something, it's gonna smell.
It causes problems.
Yeah. And also the other best practice is do not dump your tanks until they're full. So even if you're going to use your RV for just a weekend and you just went potty a few times, well, it's time to dump it. You need to fill the tank up to have that water pressure push all that out. If you went potty a few times and there's just a little bit in there, your solids aren't going to go with it. You want to fill your tank up and then dump it all at once, and that'll pretty much get everything out. So. I'm sure I've got other thoughts on that. Like I said, we've been living in an RV for 17 years, so we've been dumping a lot of tanks. And so these are just our best practices from dumping tanks for 17 years. It's part of the process.